Yes! I always have coffee when I watch Radar. You know that.
Of course I do, sir.
Everybody knows that.
Of course we do, sir!
Hi, everybody. Psychoro here. It is... I just wanted to be sure. It's Wednesday, June 21st. Now, moving forward, I think I'm going to use the Mr. Coffee sound clip from Spaceballs to signal to you guys whenever I pull an all-nighter. I don't know what the fuck, man. If I'm not up... Hold on a second. Let me eloquently put this. If I don't wake up early, and I mean early, like 4:15 early, or let's just say if I should just so happen to wake up past 9:30, I'm fucked. I'm using very colorful language here because yesterday it was 11:15 and this happens to me all the time. I missed gym yesterday. Wednesday is my off day. I probably should have went this morning, but then I don't want my training to interfere. It's a slippery slope of a conversation. So yeah, I woke up early yesterday, like 6 o'clock. No, I set my alarm for like 4:05, and like an idiot, I snoozed and I losed. So when they say you snooze, you lose. So it's like 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I just keep turning over my phone. I'll get up in a minute. 11:15. And I'm like, shit. So I had a great stream yesterday. Finished Halo 4. Go about playing some Friday the 13th because I'm obsessed with it now. And that's going to be the starting monologue of today. And, you know, it's about 11 o'clock and a lady and I are like, let's go. Turn off the TV at 11:30, which is another problem I have. I need to go to bed. When I get in bed, I'm going to go to bed. It's 11 o'clock, and unrealistically, I want to be up at 4:05 in the morning. It's 11:45. Let me shut off the television. I got to stop doing that. And I laid there. I laid there for a good, like, half an hour, trying to, like, ease my mind and be like, all right, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I need to sleep. Fuck. 45 minutes went by. I'm not sleeping. I've been up for about 25 hours and 15 minutes. You eventually get used to it. I mean, this isn't something I like doing. Every time I roll out of bed, when I'm pulling an all-nighter, I'm like... And I come down here, and there's nothing else to do. And I'm like, God damn. Because, you know, your brain, it's like, it's 1 in the morning, dude. I should be sleeping right now. So you kind of feel lost. And just like Tyler Durden's character, well, Edward Norton, the actor, said in Fight Club, when you suffer from insomnia, everything is a copy of a copy. I think he says it twice. I do not suffer from insomnia. I'm going to sleep very well tonight. I'm going to be up early tomorrow morning for the gym. Got an eye doctor appointment tomorrow, too. All before the stream, so don't worry about it. So, yeah, I'm running off of an all-nighter. Now, I wanted to start the stream off with that, and I wanted to officially begin by saying I have been, for the past 5 days now, start counting today, I have become vehemently obsessed with Friday the 13th. Now knowing what's going on with the game. And there's a point to this. I'm not just rambling about Friday the 13th. Trying to beat a dead horse. We all know what's going on. I think people are more than aware of the circumstance, and everybody agrees that I believe it's between the writer. It's Sean S. Cunningham and somebody else. I honestly don't really care. I watched a couple of videos this morning on it as I was not sleeping, and whatever they're going through, it comes down to who created Friday the 13th. Okay, we all know who created it. Sean Cunningham. You look at the history of it. And we all knew this before the fucking lawsuit started. It's a fucking shit show, okay? We all know the story of Friday the 13th. But regardless of where the legal standings are right now and what's going on, the fact that two grown men are getting greedy. I would like to think no. I know for a fact that it's about the money. Who owns the franchise owns the license, and who owns the license gets a majority of the pie. There still are a lot of Friday the 13th things floating out around there, or floating around out there. Sorry, my speech. You had the Blu-ray box set. You still have the game making sales, even though we can't officially get any new content. It's a legal debacle because somebody isn't getting enough money. And who suffers? We do. And as I've said multiple times throughout many occasions, between streaming on Saturday and Monday, all about Friday the 13th, it's a goddamn shame that this game is going to be shut down. It's funny, I'm talking about Friday the 13th and looks nice, doesn't it? But I love Destiny. It's whatever. I will always be playing Destiny. I'm not as into it this season. Even that doesn't mean I don't like the game anymore. But I talked about various multiple times throughout the past couple of days. It's like I'm a broken record. I'm a broken record. I'm just a broken record. That's how I sound. But it needs to be made clear that we're going to lose something truly special. Not only are the people behind it passionate and super enthusiastic about Friday the 13th. I mean, you go through this game. It's jank. Again, the films are jank. The game emulates what the films do, okay? You just look at the level of detail in, like, Higgins Haven, or Packanack, or Pinehurst, or Camp Crystal Lake. It's like you feel like you're in the game. You're in the game. You feel like you're in the film. You go, like, I was putzing around this morning for a while. Again, I couldn't sleep. And I keep on forgetting that Tommy Jarvis's room is, like, painstakingly recreated, down to the masks. Corey Feldman played young Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th. And, like, you see his masks. He was into horror, so, like, he was into creating stuff. I need to rewatch all the Friday films. But, like, you look at this and you're like, dude, this is exactly how it was in the film. Or you look at the counselors and how they are essentially like, they're kind of like a cheapo legality recreation. Because, like, Victoria from Final Fantasy Christ. Final Friday the 13th Fantasy 7. I'm gonna be shot later. But in all seriousness, you watch Friday the 13th Part 7, and you see Victoria. I fucking hate her character. And she's a counselor in a game. It doesn't look exactly like her, but you're like, that's Victoria. Or you look at Fox, who legally she gave her rights over to the game developer. Or you look at Sheldon, or, you look at all the iterations of Jason and, like, how painstakingly recreated the interior of his cabin was. Now, this is exactly how I felt about it up until this morning. Because I'm like, dude, we're missing out on something true. And I was looking at it through the lens of the game itself, even though it's offline, you're still able to enjoy it, which was the purpose of me streaming it, to showcase how I'm preserving it. So this morning, I'm like, you know what? Let me just try playing some games on the Xbox version. I was actually able to log in. Now that I've been doing more research, it turns out that it's really hard to consistently log in to IllFonic and Gun Media servers. Whomever does the server work, I don't know. But IllFonic or Gun Media, you could log into their servers, and all of the games are peer-to-peer. So the only thing that sucks is, say if Jason is the host of the lobby, and he's getting frustrated because he's not really a fan. He's just like, oh, what a cool. Wait, fucks the whole lobby. Everybody gets booed, and we need to rekey. Or if, say, a counselor, which I'm pretty sure I did this accidentally, like, I'm a counselor running around and I die, and I don't feel like spectating for another 15-ish minutes, because I'm usually the first few to die. So I'm like, I quit begrudgingly. I don't even think about it. I could potentially send everybody back to the main menu. So we could still play the game, but it's peer-to-peer, since IllFonic and Gun Media shut the servers down. Shut the dedicated servers down. So this is where everything I've been talking about now stings even further. There were 2 games I played which I will never forget. And the first game was amazing. And unfortunately, after we completed it, we repopulated a lobby, and the game disconnected. It was weird. But there was this 9-year-old kid, and he's like, I want to kill people, but I'm not going to swear. And like, the kid was no older than 9 years old, but we just started conversing, and we ended up just chatting back and forth for the entire 20 minutes. We stayed next to each other as we were running around. It was amazing. And it's cool because there's proximity of VoIP chat, so like, you know, if I'm like la 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 and I'm running towards another counselor, you're eventually going to hear me as I get closer to you. And this kid was just, he's a 9-year-old. 9-year-olds can be a little abrasive and annoying, but he was, I have a high tolerance for that, so I was enjoying it. But what I will never forget, and this here is just, it stings so hard, man. Knowing that you had a passionate team of developers who really gave a shit about what they were working on. And it's out of their control. And there were some interviews recently with the guys in charge of all of it, and they're like, dude, like, this is probably one of the hardest things we've had to deal with. Now, it wasn't all the devs that said that. I think it was the founder or like the project manager, whomever. These guys were just talking about how it really affected them. And you don't see that in today's gaming landscape. Like Nintendo, they don't give a fuck. I fucking hate Nintendo's business practices. I love their games. I hate the business practice. Now, of course, the games are from like Eiji Aonuma and a director. That's not Nintendo. Nintendo is in charge and they publish it. So I don't have any ill will or foul towards the Nintendo devs. I cannot stand their business practices. But anyway, I digress. Get into another lobby, and we all just start chatting again. And one thing I noticed is like the temperament in all the lobbies is actually pretty chill. Like there was this Russian dude in a few games prior to this, just like, and everyone and I are like, what the fuck, dude? And they're like, yo, that means he's gonna kill you in Russian. This is pretty funny. But I forget what map it was, but I spawn in, and like the cabin is on like a little peninsula, not an island, peninsula. So I go in there and all that, and like this guy runs Fox. This person was playing as Fox, but it was a dude, and I'm like, hey, it's Fox, what's up? He goes, dude, like I just ran into Jason, the retro Jason, and like I told him how much I love Halloween, and he let me go, and I'm like, that's amazing. So we start chatting and we're running along. I mean, we're looking for, we're ransacking through all the drawers and cabinets and like, you know, like bathroom corners looking for like the gas tank and the battery. And like, you can see I'm just really excited about this. And like, I'm looking for the keys, looking for the fuse. I'm like, yo, you need a med pack. I drop him a med pack because I have the dual med pack. I'm sorry, dual med pack usage with the start of one. So as soon as I get a spare med pack, I drop him for something. He's like, oh, thanks, man. Yeah. And then, you know, since it's retro Jason, which looks like Friday the 13th from the NES, he's purple with the light blue mask. It's on the video I uploaded to you. Shameless plug. So he comes towards me, and I'm like, dude, that's amazing. Oh, my God. And he grabs me. And I'm like, dude, this is so awesome. I'm being grabbed by my childhood. And suddenly, we just click, and we're like 2 peas in a pod. Like, it's, oh, my God, dude. I'm about to get misty-eyed. But it reminds me of when my man Dave and I grew up together, idolizing Friday the 13th. I was actually thinking back, like, we used to play Jason so, like, we'd give one another, like, 5 minutes to hide, and, like, we'd have to go and stalk each other, like, oh my God. And then, like, we had the NES game, and Dave brought over his VHS cassettes, and I copied them. This game is special to me, man, you know? And again, I don't want to keep harping on it, but it's a very good example of what happens when greed gets in the way. We could talk about that with Destiny here. We could talk about that with Overwatch and how they're charging for single-player content now. It's a true. It really is a true. It's truly a shame. Sorry, but again, I digress. Going back to this kid, we were just talking about like how awesome it was to play Friday the 13th on the NES, and how he said he was playing the game since it first came out, and he fucking loves it, and he's really sad to see the game. And the kid next to me, he's like, yeah, dude, I love this game, man. You know, I don't have, like, all these skins and everything. But, you know, I love playing this game, and it's really cool because, like, such and such is my favorite Friday the 13th movie. But this one guy and I, this retro Jason, we just connected on another level. And it's just, I could literally start crying over this. It's such a goddamn shame that us truly passionate people, some really good people out there, good people today are just so hard to come by. And just talking to this guy and hearing him talk like I do about how passionate I am about it. And in the back of my mind, as I was just giddy as a schoolgirl. It's like in the back of my mind, Friday the 13th is going to shut down next year, motherfucker! It's as great as it is to have the complete edition available to play. Just like with Halo Reach, as I was talking about, that human element that is so good in Halo Reach, instead of it being a story, it's the people not going to be able to play. And I will never forget this. I added the kid to my friends list. John? He has a really particular name. I'm gonna recognize him by his Preston. The dude was just awesome. The dude was just so awesome. Yeah, dude, this skin is so cool. And it was even cooler because I grabbed him and we started talking. And you know, if you're holding a weapon as a counselor and Jason grabs you, you drop the weapon. So I picked up my weapon. I'm like, dude, don't worry, I'm not going to attack you. And like Fox shows up and she's aiming her shotgun. The guy's like, yo, man, are we cool? I'm like, oh no, he's cool. You're gonna have to shoot me, but you can't because it's not programmed. And he's like, dude, knock my mask off. And I'm like, well, I don't think Vanessa has a big enough strength for that. And he goes, dude, don't forget about ready stance. I'm like, that's right. And he goes, here, swing at me. It was mind-blowing because, you know, when you see Jason, normally you run. But instead, there was a mega nerd fan like I am about it. And we just connected. And, you know, closing this monologue out, like, you know, I don't want to talk for too long. I always monologue for like 20 minutes. I feel like an opening of a Conan O'Brien episode, just like 3 times longer. But this is why I love streaming so much. You know, and again, I could be making more money elsewhere, but I'm not wasting my time here. And if I was to quit tomorrow, or right now, if I was to just like, bye, see you later, you know, and call it quits and just bye everybody, that goes against everything I stand for. But streaming or personal training or even gaming with like some of our favorite games, Destiny, Friday the 13th, now that it works, right? Or, you know, you're into Fortnite and you play with your friends, or Halo, it's LAN parties and system like. It's about that conversation and just, I know this sounds a little cheesy, but being with people, you really do. And that's what was important about arcades back in the day, which is another thing we don't have anymore. Thanks to the digital age and things we don't own anymore. I mean, arcades are like that. You paid 50 cents a play, right? But that was a different day and era. But there was just like this subconscious social bonding that happened that we didn't realize, but now we look back on so fondly, right? And even though, you know, we have Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, NSO, Nintendo Switch Online, whatever, you still do communicate with people just like I did through Friday the 13th. Or Destiny or whatever. Like I raided Vault of Glass last week, actually. Hold on a sec. I got a good fate for you. With Firefly. But anyway. You know, inadvertently, you're forming relationships, or you're making a friend, or you're connecting with people. And, you know, even though streaming is a little different from going to the arcade or doing couch co-op, but the ideology is the same, is you are communicating with people and you're bonding over something that is either important or special to you, or you both have an interest in. I like how the music is swelling now that I'm talking about this. But this moment that I had, this micro moment that was, that the game got kicked, which was unfortunate because we were talking and suddenly went back to the main menu. I'm like, what the fuck? And that's why we added each other as friends. But in this, I would say 4-minute moments, I'll never forget it. And I connected with somebody who was equally, or if not more passionate than I. And that's amazing to me. And just like when I have my awesome audience members come on in here, and one makes just a fucking... Dukes, I love you, man. this is incredible. This is awesome. I got a scarf, or people in my Discord, nice little tight community, you know, they'll lurk a lot. Like he does 3D printing, like he'll share his projects. Or Happy Boy Mira, Happy Main as he's known as now. He'll always be Mira. That's his name. His handle, I should. He's passionate about cooking. He's going to culinary school and he like talks about stuff, like how his hands are sore from chopping vegetables all day. Trying to like get pirate attire because he's big into like pirates and all the lore behind them and like real life history. Like we're connecting over this stuff and it blows my mind. And that's what makes streaming great. I could sit and talk about this stuff all day, and then it's even better when more people come on in. And we just share this passion. That's what streaming's all about, man. Amazing. It's such an amazing thing, isn't it? And people overlook that. People are just like, oh, I play Fortnite. Shut up, scrub. Get good. It's like, nah, dude. Communicate. Know people. It's really hard in this day and age to do so, but you'd be surprised when you, like, I wouldn't say open up, but when you start communicating and you're on the same level. It really is. And again, hats off to Friday the 13th. I'm truly saddened to hear and be a part of what's going on. And, there's a lot of other people out there. I was actually talking about this in the multiple games I had. Not just these two, which were really striking to me, I'll never forget, but like games before that. Like, I was just talking with them. Like, dude, it really sucks that this is all happening. And everyone was just bemoaning and being like, yeah, dude. Fuck. So sad. So, Friday the 13th, man. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but it truly is the best current example of what happens when greed gets in the way and it ruins it for everybody. And the fact that litigation just isn't fun for anybody at all. And litigation because of greed. I'm pretty sure the two guys involved, they're just like, how do I get a bigger slice of the pie? That's what it comes down to, man. And there's that saying that goes, hey, people who don't have money complain the most. It's like, yeah, dude, because a majority of everything we earn and own, first of all, what we own isn't really ours anymore outside of our homes and our clothing, all these like quantifiable things, but like, media and gaming and all that stuff, it's digital. We don't own it, and all this money between everything, like this is going to become a complete conversation. The money isn't going where it should, and too many of the wrong people are getting too much. What about us? We're suffering. Really a shame. So now with that off my chest, I really had to talk about that, man. Really had to talk about that. Let's see what's up in the land of Destiny.